Jon Jones, the UFC heavyweight champion, finds himself in a familiar spot, mired in controversy. Fresh off his dominant win over Cyril Gane, Jones is already fielding questions about his next opponent. Many fans and pundits believe that Tom Aspinall, the interim heavyweight champion, is the rightful challenger. However, Jones has other ideas, sparking outrage among fans and fighters alike. His recent comments have only added fuel to the fire. Jones has publicly stated his disinterest in facing Aspinall. He has been vocal about his opinion that Aspinall is not yet ready for such a high-stakes fight. He claims Aspinall lacks the experience and accomplishments worthy of a title shot. According to Jones, the young fighter still has a lot to prove before stepping into the octagon with him. This has ignited a firestorm of criticism, with many accusing Jones of ducking the rising British star. Social media has been ablaze with fans expressing their disappointment and frustration. The situation is further complicated by Jones's interest in a super fight with Alex Pereira, the newly crowned light heavyweight champion. This potential matchup has captured the imagination of fight fans around the world. Jones sees this potential bout as a legacy-defining fight, a chance to cement his status as one of the greatest fighters of all time. He believes that a victory over Pereira would solidify his place in the annals of UFC history. This pursuit of legacy, however, has put him at odds with the immediate contenders in the heavyweight division. As the debate rages on, one thing is clear: Jon Jones continues to be one of the most polarizing figures in the sport. Tom Aspinall's ascent in the UFC heavyweight division has been nothing short of meteoric. With a string of impressive victories, including a first-round TKO of Alexander Volkov, Aspinall quickly established himself as a force to be reckoned with. When Jones's prolonged absence due to contract negotiations and a move to heavyweight left the division in limbo, the UFC created an interim title. Aspinall seized the opportunity, defeating Cyril Gane in a thrilling bout to become the interim champion. He then defended his title against Curtis Blades, further solidifying his claim as the top contender. Aspinall's impressive resume and dominant performances have made him a fan favorite and a legitimate threat to Jones's reign. His youth, athleticism, and well-rounded skill set pose a unique challenge to Jones, making the potential fight all the more intriguing. Throughout his career, Jon Jones has been vocal about his desire to be remembered as the greatest fighter of all time. His pursuit of this goal has shaped his career decisions, often prioritizing legacy-defining fights over immediate title defenses. Jones's disinterest in facing Aspinall stems from this same desire to cement his legacy. He views Aspinall as a less accomplished opponent, a fight that wouldn't significantly enhance his standing in the sport's history. Instead, Jones has set his sights on a super fight with Alex Pereira, a bout he believes would hold far more historical significance. Critics argue that Jones's focus on legacy comes at the expense of his responsibility to defend his title against deserving contenders like Aspinall. They point to his history of controversial decisions and legal troubles as evidence of a fighter more concerned with his image and legacy than with the integrity of the sport. Alex Pereira's arrival in the UFC sent shockwaves through the light heavyweight division. A decorated kickboxer, Pereira holds 2 victories over Israel Adesanya, the former middleweight champion, in kickboxing bouts. He quickly climbed the ranks in the UFC, culminating in a stunning knockout victory over Jan Blachowicz to capture the light heavyweight title. Jones sees Pereira as the perfect opponent to solidify his legacy. A victory over the newly crowned champion, especially one with Pereira's striking prowess and knockout power, would be a resounding statement. It would showcase Jones's ability to adapt and conquer across different weight classes and fighting styles. The potential super fight between Jones and Pereira has captured the imagination of fans and pundits alike. It's a clash of styles, a battle between a grappling savant and a knockout artist, a fight that could potentially headline a massive pay-per-view event. Section 5: Social media storm fans and pundits react. Jon Jones' dismissive comments about Tom Aspinall and his open desire to fight Alex Pereira have ignited a social media firestorm. Fans and pundits alike have taken to Twitter, Instagram, and other platforms to voice their opinions, creating a cacophony of criticism, speculation, and debate. Many fans accuse Jones of ducking Aspinall, arguing that the interim champion has earned his shot at the title. They view Jones's disinterest as disrespectful to Aspinall and detrimental to the integrity of the heavyweight division. Pundits are divided in their opinions. Some support Jones's pursuit of legacy-defining fights, arguing that he has earned the right to choose his opponents. Others criticize his selective matchmaking, claiming that he is avoiding tough challengers and jeopardizing the legitimacy of his title reign. Section 6. The Miocic Factor, a retirement bout or a strategic move. Adding another layer of intrigue to this saga is Jon Jones's upcoming fight against Stipe Miocic at UFC 309. This bout has fans and analysts buzzing for multiple reasons. Miocic, a former two-time heavyweight champion, is widely regarded as one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. His accolades and achievements in the octagon speak volumes about his skill and determination. This fight, while a significant event in its own right, has also raised eyebrows due to Miocic's age and recent inactivity. At 40 years old, Miocic has not fought since his loss to Francis Ngannou in 2021. Some speculate that Jones has chosen to fight Miocic as a sort of retirement bout. The timing and choice of opponent suggest that Jones might be looking for a high-profile yet winnable fight to cap off his illustrious career. Miocic, while still a formidable opponent, is nearing the end of his career. His experience and resilience make him a tough challenge, but questions about his current form remain. A victory over him, especially a dominant one, would allow Jones to ride off into the sunset with a final impressive win over a legend. This could be the perfect narrative for Jones to end his career on a high note. Others believe that the Miocic fight is a strategic move by Jones. By taking on a big-name opponent like Miocic, Jones can further solidify his legacy and keep his name in the headlines. By defeating Miocic, Jones can potentially set up a more lucrative super fight with Pereira in the future. This fight could be a stepping stone to even bigger opportunities and paydays, ensuring that Jones remains a central figure in the UFC for years to come. Section 7. Aspinall's Perspective, a worthy contender's plea. Tom Aspinall, for his part, has remained steadfast in his belief that he is the rightful challenger to Jon Jones's title. He has publicly called out Jones for avoiding him, accusing the champion of being afraid to face a younger, hungrier opponent. Aspinall argues that his record speaks for itself. He points to his impressive win streak, his dominant performances against top contenders, and his status as the interim champion as evidence of his worthiness. He has also expressed frustration with Jones's dismissive attitude, claiming that the champion is not giving him the respect he deserves. Aspinall's frustration is understandable. He has worked his way up the ranks, earned the interim title, and patiently waited for his shot at the undisputed championship. Jones's reluctance to face him, coupled with his focus on a potential super fight with Pereira, has left Aspinall feeling overlooked and disrespected. Section 8. Analyzing the narrative, legacy, obligation, and generational clash. The ongoing saga between Jon Jones, Tom Aspinall, and Alex Pereira highlights a complex narrative within the UFC and combat sports in general. The conflict between a champion's desire for legacy and their obligation to defend their title against deserving contenders. This dynamic is not just about the physical battles in the octagon, but also the psychological warfare and strategic decisions that shape a fighter's career. Jones, driven by his ambition to be remembered as the greatest, is seemingly prioritizing legacy-defining fights over immediate title defenses. His focus is on creating moments that will be remembered in the annals of UFC history. This approach, while understandable from a historical perspective, has created a logjam in the heavyweight division and sparked accusations of him ducking tougher opponents like Aspinall. Critics argue that Jones is avoiding the new wave of talent that could potentially dethrone him. This situation also represents a classic generational clash in combat sports. The old guard versus the new, the experienced versus the hungry, and the established versus the up-and-coming. Aspinall, the young and hungry contender, is eager to prove himself against the established champion. He represents the future of the sport, bringing fresh energy and a new set of skills to the table. Jones, on the other hand, is at a different stage in his career, seeking to cement his legacy with fights that hold historical significance rather than simply defending his title against the next in line. His decisions reflect a broader strategy to ensure his name is etched in the history books, not just as a champion, but as a legend of the sport. Section 9. The future of the heavyweight division. What's next? The future of the UFC heavyweight division remains uncertain. John Jones's upcoming fight against Stipe Miocic could potentially be his last, leaving the division without a clear champion. If he does decide to continue fighting, his preference for a super fight with Alex Pereira further complicates the title picture. Tom Aspinall, meanwhile, is left in limbo. He is the rightful contender, yet he faces the prospect of being sidelined while Jones pursues other options. This situation highlights the need for clarity and decisiveness in the UFC's matchmaking process, especially in a division as volatile and unpredictable as heavyweight.